All right, time to take a look at the IKOVWUK laser level. Got our user manual. It's actually pretty nice. I like that it came with a case. Cool. So these are nice. This is a little backing plate. So if you're going to be shining the laser a long distance, especially out in sunlight, sometimes lasers can be hard to see. This is going to allow you to shoot that a very long distance and still be able to see where that laser is. So this is a very reflective plate on the back here. And that's going to make that laser super visible even at a distance. Ooh, that's cool. We have what looks like a lithium-ion battery. That's actually something. It says it outputs 5.2 amps at 3.7 volts. So this is a pretty high-capacity battery. Oh, wow. It's got a remote, and it's got a battery in it. This is cool. So this is a stand. You can see on the back, it's actually got magnets on it. So if you're doing anything in an industrial setting where you got steel beams or anything like that, you can use this, stick that on there, and then thread the laser level into the top. So these are nice. There's a nice heavy-duty one, too. I don't know what that is. We got our charging cable, and we have an adapter for that. So we can plug that directly into the bottom of here. And it says it accepts 100 to 240 volts. That's good for international or domestic. And it outputs 1.5 amps at 5 volts. And this is the laser level. So one of the really nice things about this one is that it has 3 different lasers that are going to mark on it. So what that means is if you want to mark something up and down, you can use this guy. So that way you can make sure you got everything perfectly straight up and down. You got perfectly parallel on the wall. And then this one can make an X with either of those. So very cool. So it has a charging port right here. So you can basically leave the battery in all the time if you want. The battery goes in right on the bottom. And we got a 1/4 mount on the bottom. So that is very important because I like to use these things with light stands just because they're cheap and they're really tall. And then right here we got our on-off switch. Actually, it kind of looks like a lock. See, those heads are moving. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, so that is a lock. So that's nice. So you can throw this thing in your bag and you can knock it around. You don't have to worry about damaging those lenses. Okay, so what this is actually a backing plate for that magnet. So if you're doing regular wood construction, you can screw this to the wall and then you got a spot to hang that. So that's actually kind of cool. So this is in fact a self-leveling mode, which means that when we turn this on, it's going to automatically show that laser. And then if we tilt this, you can see that it is not quite straight anymore. So you have to have it fairly straight and then this will do the rest. I think it's within about 5 degrees, but you can make sure that you're going to have that line perfectly straight. Now, if we don't want it to level, we can turn that off and then we press and hold this for 3 seconds. And that turns the laser on, but then we can tilt it. So if we want to do a tilted line, we can still use this for that. So right now we've got horizontal and vertical. So right now we got this light on. Now I got the rear light on, see that X? And now I got all of them on. Pretty cool. And this is surprisingly bright. Like it's fairly bright in this room. Even in direct sunlight, you can still see that laser. That is a very bright laser. If I was building a fence or something outside, this would definitely be the style of laser level that I would want. This is very bright. So I'm curious. That's so cool. I've never seen a laser level with a remote. Not really sure what I'd use that for. But it is really cool that it's got that. That's amazing. And then we can see, you see how bright that is? If you wanted to mark something that was like 100 yards away, light does kind of diminish over distance. This would be what you'd want to use so you can still see that. Yeah, this is an incredibly bright laser level. So this is why I like to use light stands. I can just take this adapter off, screw that in the bottom. And I just sat this down. One thing I noticed is that this actually has a full rubber bumper material all the way around it. Not only is it bright, this is very rugged as well. And I can take that adapter, drop it in there, and lock that down. So light stands are very tall, so I can just take this guy, like right there. I've got an entire another length, but we are already almost at the ceiling. So let's go ahead and turn this on. So I can get my camera a little higher. You can see right there, I can confirm that that rod is hung nice and straight. The reason it's hung nice and straight is because I used a laser level much like this one to hang that. Laser levels, like if you're gonna be doing anything like DIY projects in your house, these are a must-have. And then if I turn on the vertical, you can see what I've done right here. So this is another one of those things that I use laser levels for, just to make sure that everything is perfectly straight up and down. Because if this light was crooked at all, it would just start like leaning and falling to side. So having this thing straight up and down is very important. In my opinion, a good laser level like this is going to be the best thing for that. And right here we can see I got all my mounting screws pretty much in line. This one's a little bit off. Let's check those. So I am super impressed with how bright this laser level is. Like I would have to be really hard of vision to not be able to see this thing. This is a very nice laser level. So yeah, overall, I am very happy with that. That is a very nice laser level.